Hey everybody, we're back. Round one just started. Our opponent is going to let us go second. And we have a hand that's not terrible, not great, but I think it's good enough to keep. We're short white, so we can't swords, but we do have Dew Decays, a Bob, and a Stranglegeist. Granted, we can't cast it. So we have 2 cards that we can't cast, and 3 cards that we can. So I'm not going to mulligan this. Alright. What do we got? Blue. Alright. Not being full out punished yet. Hey, you know what? I have an F6 on this. I haven't been able to play with an F6 in a long time. So, yeah, take that as you will. Did he just... No, he didn't. Okay, so he's playing a show and tell deck. Not good for us, not good for what we see, what we have right now. There's a Heath that's really funny colored. That funny colored for you guys as well? I'm going to go ahead and get Savannah. And then just drop down Bob. That'll give me the double green for next turn, as well as the ability to have some stuff to do. Alright, what do we got here? Intuition. Good call. I did go ahead and... Oh, okay. That's not the worst. Why don't you have that one? We're probably dead next turn, so he's playing Hivemind. We weren't sure which show and tell variant, but we're most likely dead here. Yep, show and tell. We have no interactions. I'm just going to show him the Bayou. No point in showing him that we have something like that. So, Summoner's Pact, yeah, that's the game. Alright, so short game 1. Hopefully game 2 goes a little bit better. Let's see. I'm going to get rid of this. Name, converted mana cost. Alright, so what do we want? We want something to deal with the intuitions. As you can see, I did add the extra him. We'll go there. And... that could be interesting. I don't think that's worth it. We don't care too much about these swords, so let's get those out of there. The top, the game isn't going to go long enough for me to abuse top. These aren't going to actually be all that helpful. Is there anything else that would be better to take out? Not really. Yeah. Alright, so there we go. We're down to 14 creatures. That is not much of a clock, but our main goal here is to actually just make him, excuse me, discard down. So, let's see, make sure there's nothing that we want. We could take a Teague, and that would allow us to, excuse me, that would allow us to, you're going to be terrible here. What am I? You may not be terrible. It would allow us to extirpate the show and tells and then have Teague, and if we can keep Teague alive, then it would be pretty much game over. But I don't foresee that being the thing that we're going to have to do. So we're going to go ahead and play first. We have a Hymn, we have a Liliana, we have a Wasteland. I'm not going to get rid of this. Things could go sour very quickly, but I think that we'll be okay. Just go ahead and start off, and we'll see what he does. He could be playing Blood Moon, but that's something that we're going to have to deal with. Yep. I'd much rather have a Knight than anything than this Goyf, but we will deal with it as we go. Mazavith isn't terrible either. Let's go get the Scrubland and try and give this a go. Anything? We hit 2 Emrakul's. Wow. That's different. So those shuffle back in, and our turn is pretty much over. Now let me just go ahead and F6. Yep, there's a Brainstorm. Good man. Although you probably should have waited, unless you don't have another land in hand. So if he plays this show and tell. Alright, we're going to drop the library. There's an Emrakul. Let's go ahead and, yes, always Wow, that's lucky. So yeah, we're gonna put that Emrakul back up in his hand. I'll put these two back. Don't really need to pay for anything here. I'm gonna put it back this way just in case he does something. And thanks for the free card, or all the fish, however you want to look at it. So we have an answer to Emrakul. That was very lucky. Our other option would have been this, in which case he's got to have the force. Looks like we're going to be wasting him next turn. We don't need either of these. So let's just go ahead and pop that down there. I'm going to play the knight, and then we'll waste. If he dazes, that's all the better for me, but he did not. So yeah. He's got to build up his hand, and we're just kind of tinkering around with ours. Let's see. So next turn we want to play Liliana. There's a monolith. What else do we got? We got a Bob. Bob's not the worst either. I am going to draw one of these this time. Let's go ahead and draw that one. And that's more so to get it out than anything else. So I think that this may actually be the better call than the Bob. We can pay for anything but a red pact. So yeah, we should be pretty much golden here. And I'm going to actually shuffle the deck, I think. Yeah, go for it. You can put your Emrakul back in. Or, yeah, this is a 2-turn clock. We're not going to shuffle. I think that'll work. He could just... Granted, now, in order for him to actually cast the Hivemind, he would have had to have played land and everything else. We got lucky here. But it didn't look like he had a counterspell, so the Liliana would have gone the distance. Surprised he kept the Emrakul in. Let's see. Anything that we want to change? Not really. I guess this actually makes sense to too late. We just made cards disappear. It makes sense to bring these in. Let's see, what are we... Oh, never mind. Should have taken the pulses. It makes sense to have them in over the pulses. I'm not going to get rid of this. I have first turn. I now have first turn this guy. So that's going to cause a small issue on that front. Brainstorming. Yeah, the ley line of sanctity was what I was thinking about. The pulses were what I was originally thinking as a way to deal with this, but the charm deals with it as well as stops the second spell from whatchamacallit, that I can't think of name. Let's see. This is his end step, yeah. So we've got 2 dead cards. We're just going to pop this out there. Next turn we'll have Bob. If he's show and tells, we'll have Knight. Hopefully Knight will be able to do something. We're just going to be prepared for that. So no show and tell yet. Oh, that's kind of problematic. The good thing is that this doesn't target. So, well, it targets a card in the graveyard. Taxian Probe. Okay. So he's really playing a 54 card deck. Or 53 card. 56. There we go. I can count. I promise you. That's kind of problematic. We're still doing this next turn. Yep. I got 2 dead cards against you. It's alright. I think I'll fetch while I got the chance. And we'll just go get... Could go get Dryad Arbor. Start clocking him that way. No, because he could just Pyroclasm and then things get awkward. I'm going to get the basic forest. The reason I'm getting the basic forest is I want to actually be able to win. No, survive. So we need to find a Liliana or a Pulse. Those are the two things we need to find. I should have took out the Abrupt Decay. So what was I thinking there? Nonetheless, he has to go off with a Hivemind. That does mean that he can Intuition for a solution, but at least we're drawing extra cards now, and it looks like he's stuck on mana. So I'm not going to play the Knight just yet. Do I want the other Bob? I think I do. I'm greedy that way. Yeah, we have to do it that way. And I'm going to go to draw a card at the end of his turn, which is why I'm not actually swinging with Shaman there. There's a Monolith. I'm just trying to gain as many cards as possible. Oh yeah, we have to do this first. We'll eat one of his lands and produce whatever color, and then we'll draw a card. Alright, so there's a Surgical Extraction. Let's get that out of there. So he knows we have a second Bob. There's a Pulse. I am going to go for... I'm going to go to swing first, just in case he's got a misdirection. Let's think. I could actually Pride Mage. What do you guys think? We could go to Pulse that, and then we could go to discard, or I could lower his mana. I think that's the better option. Hopefully he thinks that this is Goyf. Alright. So we'll get in there this way. Next turn I'll go ahead and go for the Pulse on that, and we'll see what happens. I'm just trying to buy time at this point. I figure that I will survive longer doing it this way. I can still gain a little bit of life back, so I can count myself at 14. A second Monolith. That's problematic. I'm just going to always go ahead and do that. Let's see. And the Stronghold. Alright, did I play a land last turn? I don't think I did. You guys can yell at me about that. Alright, so that one we'll get in this way. If we can catch the Hiveminds, then we're golden. Luckily we have 2 lands still. I can take this end of combat stop off. I don't have a frickin' thing out there. So let's go for the ley line. And I'm actually going to duress him. I don't think you had a counterspell. Yeah. So duress, cancel, make our land first. And the reason we're going with duress instead of Thoughtseize is that if he wants to misdirect it, sure. So yeah, this is awesome. We win this, right? Take the Hivemind and 2 life on the Hivemind. Yep. So that'll eat up his next turn. We want to do it this way. So he can't Hivemind this next turn. We drop the other Shaman, and that should take the game. Yep. Let's see. We could damage ourselves pretty heavily if we flip Sigarda. We need one more black in order to... No, this is it. That's game. Let's just go ahead and pop those on there. Yep. And 2. This one, exile his Pact of Negation. That'll put him to 5. And then we can just swing out. Yeah. Alright, so we took the first game. A little lucky in game 2. Game 3 looks like he was on the Hivemind plan and just couldn't get the mana in order to get it out there. We had enough disruption. I remember why I left the decays in. So, not show my hand. So, yeah. We were pretty good. I didn't mean to show my hand. So, Lord, if you see this, sorry about that. Sorry about that. Yeah. Let's see. So, yeah, that's the game. Let's go ahead and what was the next card? I hope you guys enjoyed. We'll be back next round.